Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 11. Another episode of the World of Presentations podcast with 356 Labs. It's Boris, but again I'm not alone. In the last few weeks you obviously heard, not saw, but you heard that I'm joined every single week by a different part of the design, different person from the design crew. This week it is Mariya with me. Mariya is one of our designers. She's with us from how many?
Year and a half, maybe.
Year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's doing quite some interesting projects that she's going to be kind of talking about in this episode. But before that, let us kind of introduce herself. I will allow her to kind of introduce herself briefly and tell us a bit more about herself. It's now on you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm super happy to be part of the podcast again.
Yep. After episode number 8, it's now 11.
Yeah, when we were together with Mirewa and Marineva.
Anyway, with Marinelka, and then... So a few words about yourself.
I actually was trained, I studied illustration and graphic design, typography, such stuff. Even in my previous high school education, I studied art. So I'm a person who like to use a lot of materials, different materials, crafts. I've worked a long time for print design, but now I'm into the world of presentation and I'm super happy for that.
Which is kind of different world than the print world.
Yes, it's different, but from the design perspective, it's very close. So, and even I'm finding more and more similarities, and actually it gives even a lot of new opportunities for me, so it's really interesting.
And sometimes we are so kind with our customers that we even do some print work, which is very rare, but still.
Yeah, but I enjoy it, so.
Okay, so in the last few months maybe, in the last few months, a long time. In the last few months, we got requests for a lot of corporate templates.
Yeah.
And templates in first place, for people who are like, what the hell is template? I sold also on the web for $10 or something like that. What is a template? Like in your mind, from designer's perspective, what is a template? Because I have my kind of business type of definition for template, which is, hey, can we have a file? Can we have something that will allow our corporation or organization or group of people to build better looking, consistent slides faster, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are aiming for to achieve. From design perspective, how do you look at a template?
Well, for me, a template means, let's say, guidelines. Because you set a structure that can be... let's say developed in some way and adapted to different kind of information, but you have the main structure that you can add on and just can use it for orientation and just to make your whole presentation consistent with all the other presentations. And it's for sure should help you build it very fast, but also will help the brand look much more professional and
every single time when we talk about templates, we talk about, hey, you don't have to be a designer to be able to create beautiful slides. The end goal is also, can someone who is an IT person, a financial guy, or I don't know, like we have worked with IT people, consultants, almost every industry that you can imagine, can those people build slides which, if you are someone outside of the company, you would say, wait a minute, this is professional design. Yet it's not created by a professional designer, it was created initially, but afterwards was tuned and kind of completed by the speaker itself, and in the end it looks like it was created by a designer.
Well, the good template should do this, yeah.
Yeah, the good template should do this, and the good template, many times we hear that the templates are actually not helping people. but actually preventing them to create the slides.
That's true. It's very common that people hate using templates because they feel, just they can't be creative and they cannot put their information looking pretty in the template. So this is usually in the cases when, as you said, they just found a template on the web and just said, oh, that looks pretty cool, so I can use it. And they download it, and after that, they find out it's actually not helping them with their current information, and it looks actually ugly. So what happened here?
We have seen that so many times. I believe one of the second or the third project that we actually had at 356 Labs was a template project. And I recently actually saw one of the people who works in this organization, which was kind of funny. So they are a multi-million-dollar company working and based in the States, and the CEO of the company decided to kind of ramp up and be better, just enable the people inside of the organization to build better presentations. So how does he do that? Well, he decides to invest $10, and I'm not kidding when I'm saying $10, and download the template from the web. And 10 minutes later, he calls us because it's not working by no means.
Yeah,
it's a
big part of making an effective and good presentation template is the fact that you should search for the needs of the brand, the needs of the organization, because there are many cases that you can there are so many cases that you need a slide, and some of them are very similar. So you need to extract those similarities and just build a template upon them.
So every single time, like, I don't know, but I think most of the times when we get involved and do templates, most of the times we end up being the company chosen to do that, because the templates, if you look at how are they being created in first place, they're being created most of the times by some branding agencies, which is not to say that the branding agencies are kind of bad people or anything like that. It's actually vice versa. They're really cool people and they're really good in what they do. The problem is that most of the times the corporate templates are being part of that whole branding project where they design the logo, the color, they choose the color, so on and on. And then together with all of that, there is a PowerPoint template. However, that PowerPoint template has not analyzed, is not created based on the needs of the people. So
this is one of the very big problems. And also people from the agency, for example, they first of all, they don't like PowerPoint usually.
We already heard about that in episode number 8.
So they even try to do this as fast as they can, and just even I have friends who are working in such agencies, and she told me, well, I'm on this level of PowerPoint that I cannot create a nice slide. So even for designers, sometimes it's a very big, difficult task, definitely.
So before we go to the design, what are the first steps that we would recommend people do if they are aiming for creating a template? What is the first step? That we kind of mentioned it, but what are the first steps that we kind of do in order to make sure that we understand the needs of those clients?
So firstly, I would recommend to ask the organization to provide you with all of their presentations, or not all, but just the main...
As many.
And also the presentations that they use most often. So the next step is to extract the similarities in these presentations, like what kind of information they have and what they usually have to show, and so on. And also to see some of the specifics, because, for example, we had some clients that they really make presentations for a very specific topic, and there are some slides that are super customized. So we made a special template layout for them, for those slides exactly. So yeah, this is a very important step to extract the main similarities and most specific things.
Yeah, and the needs they have more or less, which is something that if you don't do well, no matter of the design that you apply afterwards, will be useless.
Yeah, definitely. This is the problem with all those templates around the web, because they just look cool, but they don't help you for your exact needs.
Well, and so and so that being said, we have we analyze the templates, we build it based on the needs of the client, and then we hear the outside opinion of people who say, hey, wait a minute, templates are very restrictive and you cannot be creative in those templates because they have so many restrictions. Is that kind of true, or what do you see?
Well, a lot of people say this, even for a nice template, which is made with many possibilities, you have so many example slides and so on. Even in these cases, there are situations that you feel like you have too many boundaries. But I think that a very nice template is the one that can be very flexible. Because,
so how do we define flexible?
Okay.
So if you have to define flexible in the context of template, what does that mean?
Well, that you have a possibility to let's say, change some things from the template, but still keep the same theme and everything, like the main elements stay the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So that it's visible that this slide is part of the whole, not just copied from somewhere else. Yeah, and a good template can make this work, because you have defined styles for the fonts and also some colors that can be changed very difficultly. Yeah. And all the stuff. If you have those guides, like grids and guides that help you to move the things around, but still keep on the right place. Yeah. So these are things that one effective template contain.
I'm kind of want to share something that we heard at the summit, at the MVP summit, like what is this, last month, but it's not allowed whatsoever. It's just that, hey, something big is coming in regards to templates, but what is it?
I cannot wait to understand about it.
I cannot even mention it. Unfortunately, so unfortunate. Anyway, so back on the templates, if we imagine that the template is if we imagine that the template is created well, let's say someone analyzed the needs, then the template was built based on those needs. You have the example slides for various layouts, on and on and on and on. Then can people still be creative in those templates? Because at the end of the day, we put all of those layouts, make all of those example slides, even put instructions on how to achieve them. Yeah. And then what about, where is the creativity? Where does that part go? Are people then limited just by everything that was created in that system? Or is there still place for, you said that we can experiment with some things, even though we will still keep the style consistent. But where is the creativity part going then?
I think that
Can people be creative if they're using a proper template? More or less.
Yeah, if somebody is creative, he can find a way for sure.
Okay, even.
But but let's talk more serious. Yeah, actually, there are some things like consistency and alignment that are definitely a thing when we are talking about creativity, because even though you want to change something, you have to be aligned to those rules.
Yeah.
That's
the brand
rules. That all the whole presentation follows. So. This is the thing. So even though there is a grid, you can, of course, be creative within this grid. And there are many possibilities, even though it sounds restrictive.
Okay.
Another thing is that usually there are more things on the slide layout than probably you need sometimes. So I recommend you can delete some stuff, but just keep in mind that the main things should be on their places.
Okay.
Like you sometimes, if you're making a live presentation and you don't have a proper slide for it, well, maybe you don't need exactly for this case the title on the slide. So you just need to highlight I don't know, a big number or something. So you can delete the title, but for sure all the colors, all the alignment and the consistency with fonts, everything should be there.
Yeah.
Still
there.
Yeah, and also some graphic elements and such stuff, they should be the same as all the other presentations. And
even though, like, have you seen our templates being used in a wrong way?
oh yeah, so many times. This is really painful to see. This is an awful experience for a designer.
So,
but yeah, it always happens.
what's the worst? Do you remember, like, the worst implementation or not? Because I remember one that we created like a year ago, which when I saw how the people were actually used it, I was like, how can you even come up with an idea like that once you have everything set up? How can you come up with, like, when you have like a brand which the main colors are blue, how can you come up with an idea to put text box in an like angled in 45 degrees and select and mark it with yellow? Like, why is that even happening? That's the worst I have seen with our templates.
I think this is the
worst.
this is
one of
the
the
worst.
Yeah. By the way,
but here we should mention a very important part also, which is kind of educating the people who will use the template, because there is even though we make the template like the perfect one, there will be somebody to destroy it like this, and this will be because he is not prepared to use it. There are, of course, so many specifics about using PowerPoint as a software. So a lot of people don't know them. So even though in the template you put something and you think it's super easy to use, but on the other side people are not prepared to use it. So they come up with super difficult solutions, and they destroy something because not because they want to, but because they don't have any other option.
Yeah,
they don't know the easy option.
How do we suggest people attack this problem if they are building the templates for a company? How do we suggest educating the people who are going to be using that?
Well, a thing that we do always is to send, except from the template file, we send a manual how to use. It's a separate it's a separate presentation. It's a kind of presentation. It's like a book, let's say, but it shows good and bad examples, how to use and how not to use some of the things in the template. And also there are some tips and tricks on how to use the tools and
the PowerPoint part itself.
Yeah, the PowerPoint part.
In the context of the template.
And also another thing which can be added to this is just like a course to have a meeting with those people, or just some of them online or personal, and just show and make a demonstration how to use the template and what can be done and what should not be done and such stuff. And of course they have to continue and educate all the other people who will use it. So
and we also kind of, if you think about it, that means that if you carefully look at the way people use templates, many organizations change very quickly nowadays, which means that we are also kind of the people who are building those templates, which is, by the way, something that we have shared at least a few times already with agencies who are building those templates. We're not kind of people who are like hiding everything. We are not popular with that, to be honest. Even if we share it, no one seems to care, which is kind of interesting, especially if you are how can an agency which is responsible for a template hear that, what we are talking about right now, or come to a course related to templates and still go back at their office and do the same? Like, it's kind of...
Well, probably people think that it's too difficult or too time-consuming to do this, but for sure, if you invest this initial time, if you make this effort in the beginning, then your life will be so easy.
And the life of the client will be so much easier.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, anyway.
So, just it's a point to change your mind about templates and how to use them, nothing more.
Yeah, and when we talk about templates, are we talking about preparing layouts and preparing example slides that are only for presentations that are being delivered live? Or do you see cases with our clients where they're like, wait a minute, once we analyze all of those presentations, they seem to be building more or less documents and not exactly presentations. Is that the case? And can a template be built for documents?
Well, this is a very big thing, because a lot of people say, okay, you're making me a template for a document, let's say, but I want to present live and this doesn't work. So what should I do?
Yeah.
Well, there are two approaches. There is a possibility to put layouts in the same file, which are for documents and which are for live, and to separate them so that everyone who used the template knows that, okay, now I'm making a document, so I'll use only these layouts, and when I'm making...
it's possible.
It is possible, definitely. The other way, of course, is to make two separate template files and just make it the other way.
Yeah, but it's a bit more kind of having two files.
Oh, it depends, because some of our clients actually, they prefer to have
two
separate ones, because it's more clear and defined, and nobody will mistake on the way. So it's just depending on the client, on the people.
Oh yeah, that's kind of interesting.
It's always for the people and for their exact needs and their exact way of working. So
I was going to say that what you're saying is yet again going back to the thing that we kind of cannot share, but it's touching. Obviously, people are going to see it in the next 6 or 7 months because Microsoft will release it. But it's kind of interesting. Interesting days coming up for PowerPoint, the tool that everyone hates nowadays. So, final words. Anything that you can come up for templates. Because we obviously are talking only about templates with you.
Yeah, well, it just happened like this.
That's life in the last few months.
Yeah, well, in terms of templates, again, and just keep consistent. This is super important. If you begin with one font, one color, etc., just keep till the end. And if you are going to make something crazy in your template, just be sure that all of those elements are the same. And even though you are very bold and make something different, it should be speaking for the brand itself.
Okay, so people have to be careful with that part. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that for episode number 11. 11, one of your favorite numbers?
Well, I like it, yeah.
I like it, okay. So hopefully that was useful to both people who build those templates and people who are using templates, because once they hear that, they may end up asking the people around them and their managers or brand manager, hey, those people are talking about all of those things and we kind of don't have them. Why is that the case? And if we have them, and slowly but steadily the industry changes, so hopefully we'll be part of that change also. Okay.
It will be great for everyone.
Yeah, it will be great. We will end up seeing better presentations at the end of the day, which is the main idea here. Okay. Thanks, Mariya, and thanks for everyone who listened.
Thank you too.
And stay tuned for the next episode, which is coming in the upcoming week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.